You're watching Press the World News. Time now for the news review. Well, no one inside to gun violence in the United States. Nearly 400 people are killed in shooting incidents across the country in the just first 4 days of 2022. The figure has been provided by the Gun Violence Archive, an online site tracking shooting incidents. It says that the country has seen 9 mass shootings since the beginning of the year. Mass shootings have seen an alarming surge in the U.S. in recent years, reigniting the debate over gun control laws and the misuse of lethal weapons. Last year, the United States saw a record high of 691 mass shootings. During the same year, gun violence resulted in nearly 45,000 deaths, among them over 1,500 children and teens under 17. So gun violence is the story. Now let me invite a couple of guests. Our own correspondent in Washington, D.C., Colin Campbell, is joining us. Also from Washington, D.C., again, Wilmer Leon, columnist and political scientist. Good to have you both. And a belated Happy New Year to both of you. Now, Dr. Campbell, Trump directly said that Americans should have guns in their hands, and we had that incident that happened in a bar, I suppose, somewhere in the U.S. And I remember President Trump saying that if people there had guns, and that incident wouldn't have happened. So he was directly for this, apart from some other people saying that he was also benefiting from this for his support from NRA and others. So we have another president in place now, but still gun violence is there, and even record numbers are just coming out.
Good morning. Happy New Year to both of you. And yes, gun violence is going to continue to be a problem here in the United States because there is not really a strong political will to make the changes that are necessary to try to tamp down some of these outbreaks that we've experienced over the past several years. It's unfortunate that the number is almost at 400. I believe the number is 390 people are by gun violence, and more than 250 people have been injured by gun violence. We have to remember the injured people as well. It's very unfortunate that lives are lost, but we also have to remember there are injured people who rely on the healthcare system, who may rely on the healthcare system after that. They may not be able to go to work. They may become a strain on the social safety network because they are unable to work fulsomely like they did before because they were maimed by gun violence. So this is an ongoing problem here in the United States which politicians have to address. And right now, you're not hearing that conversation coming from Congress. They're very caught up in voting rights right now, climate change, a bill that Democrats are infighting over right now. And you're not hearing these robust conversations like you should be about gun violence in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Now, Wilmer, one basic question, why should Americans be armed with weapons? Is it to do what? To defend themselves against what? I mean, is there not police departments, security forces responsible for this?
Americans should not be armed with weapons, and the Second Amendment, contrary to what the Supreme Court decided in the 2008 Heller case, the Supreme Court does not allow for individuals to personally carry weapons outside the need for a militia. So that's a fiction that Americans need to be armed in order to protect themselves. But what I think we have to come to grips with is that from the misguided exploits of Christopher Columbus through the settler colonial state that the United States stemmed from and has become, that violence is who America is. Violence is what America was founded on. It is a settler colonial, it is a oppressive, genocidal, white supremacist nation. And so violence is inherent in who America is.
So, Wilmer, you're saying that there is no way out of this?
Oh, I don't see any way out of this, primarily because of the lobbyists, whether they be the NRA or the lobbyists that support the gun industry, and how much money they have invested into political campaigns and politicians. Politicians don't have the political will to do this. And now you have, from 2008 and the Heller case in DC, a Supreme Court that validates atrocious mindset and action, no, I don't see any way out of this.
Mm-hmm. Now, Colin, what about the Biden administration? I mean, have they not come up with any solution to this, at least in words, to say that we're going to do this or that to tackle this issue?
They haven't come out with anything that is going to really move the mark that much. They've talked about some of the same initiatives and the same objectives that they have before, addressing ghost guns, looking at straw man purchases, of course, trying to eliminate AR-15 rifles from people's homes. But at the same time, the legislation that they're pushing forward really is not addressing gun violence in America in a very fulsome way, as I said before. You have ghost guns, which are coming to the Washington, D.C. area that have caused a lot of problems, and you have a lot of vacancies on courts that have caused issues during this administration, and that's why you haven't seen a large push for gun violence and gun laws to be modified.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Colin Campbell, a correspondent, and also Wilmer Leon, columnist and political scientist, both of them in D.C. Okay, I should also thank you for watching this edition of the News Review.